Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Athletics and Wellness Center on the campus of Earlham College as we bring you Earlham women's basketball here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. Welcome to the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. A lot on the line here today for the Quakers as they try to qualify for the upcoming HCAC tournament. The top 6 teams will get in. And today, one of the other teams trying to get in is the Lions of Mount St. Joe. The Quakers coming in at 6-18 overall, 6-11 in the HCAC. Mount St. Joe coming in at 10-14 on the season, also 6-11 in the HCAC. So here's how things will stack up today. If the Quakers win, they will get in, depending on also what happens with Manchester and Franklin. And those two teams play two of the top teams in the conference today. So Bluffton, 13-4, will be hosting Franklin. They're 6-11. Manchester's home against Rose, who is undefeated at 17-0. Manchester at 6-11, and Mount St. Joe and Earlham, both teams at 6-11. So it's pretty simple, as we said in our last broadcast, that if the Quakers win out and everything goes according to plan, Earlham will qualify for the HCAC tournament. The last time these two teams got together, Mount St. Joe beat the Quakers 63-48. Zoe Curtis had a great game, 17 points and 11 rebounds, but the Quakers did not shoot very well. 29% overall, 25% from three-point range. Mount St. Joe, they shot pretty well from three-point range, hitting 8 of 15 three-pointers. Maddie Haberthy ended up with 17 points, and Lainey Studer finished with 16 points and 8 rebounds on the day. So it comes down to the final game of the regular season. The Quakers and the Lions coming up in just a few moments. Stay right there. We will continue right here on the pregame show, brought to you by Kevin Shear and Farm Bureau Insurance.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
We check them better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory-trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back 'em better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Back here once again at the Athletics and Wellness Center, the campus of Earlham College, as we bring you Quaker basketball men's and women's doubleheader here this afternoon. We'll follow the second game up probably around 3:15, 3:30 this afternoon, as the Earlham men will close out their season coming up later today. Here's how the Lions will line up this afternoon. Lainey Studer's a 5'7" junior, averaging 12.7 points per game out of Pleasant Plain, Ohio. Studer will wear number 13. Brooklyn Sturwold, a 5'3 junior out of Cincinnati, averaging 1.6 points per game. She wears number 14. Aaliyah Tucker's a 5'5 freshman out of Covington, Kentucky, averaging 10.5 points per game. Tucker wears number 21. Maddie Haberthy, a 5'5 freshman, averaging 15.1 points per game out of Cincinnati, wearing number 23. And Rachel Fairfield, a 6'3 senior, averaging 1 point per game out of Aurora, Indiana. She wears number 33. So again, it'll be Studer, Sturwold, Tucker, Haberthy, and Fairfield today. Dan Benjamin, the head coach in his 6th season for the Lions. For the Quakers today, Cameron White, a 5'6 sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, averaging 6 points per game, wearing number 10. Mariah Flynn, the lone senior, 5'11", out of Kodak, Tennessee, averaging 9.6 points per game. She wears number 14. Kendall Spears, a 5'6 sophomore out of Plainfield, Indiana, averaging 7.6 points per game, wearing number 15. Acacia Tennant, a 5'5 freshman out of Sacramento, California, averaging 2.5 points per game, wearing number 30. And Zoe Curtis, the 5'10 sophomore out of Newcastle, averaging 12 points and 4.7 rebounds. Zoe wearing number 43. It is senior day, as you would expect, on the final day of the regular season, and that means the Quakers will be honoring their lone senior, that is Mariah Flynn. And what we may do is go ahead and join the festivities downstairs as they will honor Mariah Flynn here this afternoon.
Earlham College and the Department of Athletics would like to honor senior Mariah Flynn before today's matchup. Mariah is being escorted by her father Michael and mother Sherry Flynn. Mariah is a human development and social relations major and has played basketball for all 4 years for Earlham. Mariah has participated in every possible game, 100 of them, and started in 88 of those contests. This season, she is averaging 9.6 points and 6 rebounds per game. She has accumulated 797 total points while shooting 40% for her career and grabbed 494 rebounds. As a freshman, Mariah was named to the HCAC All-Freshman team and was named a Scholar Athlete in multiple semesters by the Department of Athletics. After graduation, Mariah plans to attend graduate school to receive her master's degree in social work. Mariah would like to thank former head coach Melissa Johnson for leading her to Earlham and supporting her throughout her 4 years. She wants to encourage Mel to keep fighting. She would also like to thank Coach Watson and Coach E for making her senior season great while rebuilding the program. Lastly, she wants to thank all of her teammates throughout her 4 years for pushing her to be her best. Coach Watson would also like to add that she has enjoyed watching Mariah develop into the player that she is today, after knowing her even as a freshman from playing against her while coaching Hanover. She has really enjoyed coaching Mariah this season and wished she had more time. Thank you for all that you have done this season, and she is excited to see where life takes you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for our senior, Mariah Flynn.
Well, Mariah Flynn, again, over 700 points in her basketball career, will be playing her final game here at the Athletics and Wellness Center this afternoon. When we come back in just a few moments, we will get this one underway. Huge game here today. The Quakers a chance, and the Lions an opportunity as well to qualify for the upcoming HCAC basketball tournament. Earlham basketball right here in Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Since 1994, Beach Automotive has provided motorists in the Richmond area with comprehensive auto repair services that include car and truck care, alignment, brakes, tires, engine, transmission, and more. You'll be hard-pressed to find the same level of expertise that our auto mechanic specialists provide. For a high-performing vehicle, trust Beach Automotive. To learn more, call 765-966-8181. Beach Automotive, 110 East Main Street, Richmond.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course, pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery, Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023.
At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com.
I got this.
I got this.
I got this.
At Harrington Hogue, we believe your life belongs to you. That's why we work hard to make sure that your insurance coverage is the last thing you have to worry about. So when it comes to keeping you protected,
We got this.
Back here at the Athletics and Wellness Center as we are moments away from the tip-off here tonight. A little bit about Mount St. Joe. They've lost their last 5. They did beat Earlham their last time out, 63-48. They're 10-14 overall on the season. They're led in scoring by Haberthy at 15.1 points per game, Studer at 12.7, and Tucker averaging 10.5 points per game. Don't have a ton of size other than Fairfield at 6'3", but Fairfield so far not showing a huge scoring ability, as we mentioned a little bit ago, averaging about 1 point per game. But again, at 6'3", a presence inside. Rebounding will be a key for the Quakers here again today. Zoe Curtis facing another very tall post player. Here we go. Quakers in their home whites, Mount St. Joe in their dark traveling blue, and we're ready to go. Again, the winner of this one perhaps getting into the tournament, depending on if there is an upset in the other 2 games that are now underway as well. Here we go. Tip will be won by the Quakers, and it'll be Earlham basketball. That is Mariah Flynn. May have gotten away with an offensive foul, a little push out front. Quakers working into Curtis, turns with the left hand and scores. So good start for the Quakers as they're going to attack inside. Live stats as we go, as always, on GoEarlham.com. Sturwald with a basketball on the right wing as they've inserted now Haley Hudson out of Ross, Ohio, a 5'8" junior into the ball game. Studer, right wing to Sturwald, back to Studer. Sturwald gets the high screen. Now we'll feed it off to Hudson. A little floater on the way, off the mark. Acacia Tennant there for the Quakers on the rebound, and she'll set it up to Flynn out front. Spears with a left-hand dribble, crosses the top of the circle. Tennant in the corner. White, who's coming off a 20-point performance against Defiance, will now receive the basketball at the elbow. 10 on the shot clock. Out to Spears. Three-pointer on the way, good. And a good start for the Quakers here this afternoon, leading at 5-0. Here's that little soft full-court trap. Hudson across the timeline. Now on the left elbow, once again to Studer. They'll go high post to Fairfield. And again, Hudson. The handoff to Sturwald. Driving with the left hand, layup good. Sturwald gets on the board for the first time. 5-2, 8:16 to go here in the quarter. Ball loose, picked up by Flynn. Here's White. Bouncing inside to Curtis. Looks opposite in the corner to Spears. Still 16 on the shot clock. Here's Flynn. Her three-pointer on the way. That's no good. And the rebound pulled down by Lainey Studer. Here come the Lions once again as Hudson will push it across the timeline to Sturwald. Here is Tucker. Tucker between the circles, guarded there by White. Tucker now on the drive and will be fouled. Tanette will pick up the foul for the Quakers. That is the first foul of the ball game, and that will send Mount St. Joe to the free throw line. Tucker averaging 10.5 points per game, 5.2 rebounds. What is impressive about the 5.2 rebounds is she's only listed at 5'5". So here's the first free throw by Tucker. It is on the way. Take that back. That's number 2, missing the first one, 5-3. And Tucker gets on the board. Here's White. White stops at the block, kicks it back outside to Flynn. Flynn on the dribble drive with the left hand, throws it off the glass, no good. Studer with a rebound, stolen away, and we have a whistle and a foul against Mount St. Joe. First turnover by the Lions here this afternoon. They're going to get Studer on the foul. That'll be her first. So the Quakers will inbound the basketball with a 5-3 lead, 7:34. They're going to move that out. Again, that foul was inside the three-point arc. So they'll take it down on the baseline. Tanette will inbound. Spears wide open. Bypasses the three, gives it off down to Flynn. White at the right elbow. White looks left, drives. It'll be Zoe with the right hand, no good. Curtis had a pretty good look, and the rebound by the much bigger Fairfield inside at 6'3". Here's Fairfield, 15-foot jump shot, no good. Rebound battled for, and that'll be Studer with the loose basketball. The drive in the lane, little flip there, no good. As Tucker couldn't get it to fall, and a foul in the backcourt called against Tucker. So Tucker picks up her first. Tanette will come out. Coming into the ball game for the Quakers will be Wiesner. And Fairfield coming out for Mount St. Joe. They'll replace her with number 45, Riley Davis. Davis played at Union High School. She's out of Newcastle, Indiana. A 5'10" sophomore. Here is one Newcastle native to another, as that one is missed inside by Zoe Curtis. And it'll be Mount St. Joe. Studer with the basketball. Flips that one inside to Davis. Davis, the kick out to Hudson. Back outside, three-pointers off the mark by Studer. Quaker basketball as Wiesner comes away with it. White lead pass to Zoe. Well, lets the defender goes by her. Gets the offensive rebound and lays it in. Zoe now with 4. Quakers lead at 7-3. Here's Tucker across the timeline against Wiesner. 6:18 to go here in the quarter. Tucker now with a left-hand dribble, hands it off to Studer. Here's Davis, stolen away. Zoe Curtis with the steal, and then Davis runs over Zoe just past midcourt, and Davis will pick up the foul. Davis, I should say, coming in for the Quakers will be Rosie Newhart. Coming in for Mount St. Joe, Mackenzie Markham out of Mason, Ohio, a 5'4" freshman. There's a lot of freshmen on this Mount St. Joe team. Here's Flynn, baseline, shot fake, drive, stripped out of her hands, give the steal that time to Hudson. Quakers with the turnover. 2-on-2 break, Tucker feeds it in the corner. The three by Markham is good. Got the roll. And Markham averaging 5.4 points per game, gets her first 2. Quakers back the other way. Off the back of the rim by Spears. Wiesner with the offensive rebound and a fresh 30. Now for the Quakers. Wiesner to White. And a bad pass out front, stolen away by Studer. 2-on-2 break. Studer will take it herself, throws it up and misses, but will go to the line for 2. Quakers committing their second turnover. Spears will pick up her first, and that will put Studer at the line for 2 shots. She's averaging nearly 13 per game, and her first free throw is no good. 5:27 to go. Tanette back in. Also coming in for the Quakers will be Kayla Bowling. Bowling out of Osgood, Indiana, Jack Sendell High School. Second free throw's no good by Studer. Quakers have a 1-point lead and the basketball. Tenet across the timeline to Wiesner at the left elbow. Here's Flynn straight away. Bowling, nice drive to the baseline. Pull-up shot blocked. And getting a piece of that one, Haley Hudson. Haberthy coming back in now for the Lions, and coming out of the lineup is Aaliyah Tucker. 5:11 to go in the quarter, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Bowling inbounding baseline, kicks it outside to Wiesner out front. Wiesner spins in the lane, got away with a travel, will find wide open on the near side Flynn, can't get the three to go, and the rebound by Studer. Here come the Lions once again. Hudson back to Studer. Hudson and Studer play catch out front. There's a screen by Davis. On the left wing, Hudson finds an opening, goes back to Davis, lost it, turnover Mount St. Joe. That is their second. Here come the Quakers. Running the floor is Newhart. Newhart, one dribble, powers it in, and the Quakers lead it now 9-6. Newhart picks up her first two. Quakers press once again. A soft press at this point. They really haven't gone hot yet in any of their traps. Here's Markham with the basketball, the left-hand dribble. Davis with the screen. Handoff now near side. Studer, another screen by Davis. Backdoor cut, nothing there. And it'll be Hudson with the basketball on the right wing once again to Studer. 5 on the shot clock. Studer feeds inside, turns, shoots, and misses as Markham. We have a rebounding foul against the Lions. White coming back in. Bowling will sit down. They've gotten that foul on Davis. That's going to be number 2 now on Davis. She will come out. Back in the lineup will be Rachel Fairfield. Fairfield played her high school basketball at Oldenburg Academy. Quaker basketball as Tenet will push it up the floor on the right sideline. Wiesner, and that one out of bounds. The pass just off the outstretched arms of Wiesner. Quakers unofficially with their third turnover here in the first half. 3:59 remaining. Tucker back in. Studer coming out for Mount St. Joe. Quakers again going full court man-to-man, but they'll look to trap a little bit harder, and it'll generally come when Mount St. Joe may not be expecting it. Here's Tucker, straight away at the top of the key, bouncing in the high post to Fairfield. Hands off now to Markham. Receiving the basketball is Haberthy. She'll drive to the baseline, kicks it in the corner. Hudson has it taken away. Mount St. Joe with their third turnover. Fast break back the other way. Wiesner takes the pass from Flynn. Tenet back to Flynn. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, Rosie, put back, Rosie Newhart. And Newhart now with 4, doing her job on the offensive boards, and the Quakers lead it by 5. Wiesner tipped from behind. 4th turnover now by Mount St. Joe. Quakers back the other way. White will take it in the lane. Spins with the left hand, good. And Earlham with their biggest lead now at 13-6. 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Head coach Dan Benjamin trying to get his team going offensively. Here's Tucker, the high screen by Fairfield. Tucker will take that screen. Tucker on the drive, fakes the pass, gets hit and scores, and the foul will be called against White. And a chance now for a three-point play for Tucker. 13 foul on the Quakers. Spears back in, Curtis back in, Bowling is out, or Wiesner is out, and also coming out will be Newhart. Good minutes between Newhart and Wiesner. Free throw by Tucker completes the three-point play, and it's back now to a 4-point ball game. 4 points now by Tucker. Tenet across the timeline, gives it off now to Flynn. She'll look to her left. That'll be White receiving. White will drive, draws a double team. Back to Flynn, shot fake, drives, left-hand scoop shot, good. Mariah Flynn gets on the board, averaging almost 10 per game. 2:24 to go. Lead pass will find Haberthy. Haberthy nothing there, cut off by White, back again to Tucker. Tucker between the circles, now will reset it for the Lions with 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock here in the first quarter. Coming up on the 2-minute mark. There's your high screen, nice crossover, and an offensive foul against Fairfield. One thing about it, the officials are very, very picky on those screens moving. They've really made an emphasis on that this year. And you have to stand still. Now, as I said before many times, that's the fault of the guard, not coming off that screen tight. And the big people have a general tendency to keep moving. Quakers lead it by 6. Tanette again will bring it across the 10-second line. Here's Flynn at the high elbow. Here's Spears. Entry pass to Curtis. Curtis receives, has it blocked by Fairfield, and goes out of bounds. Fairfield the last to touch it. Wiesner back in. Tanette will come out. I would imagine at some point Quakers may turn up the heat a little bit when it comes to their press defense. They've been keeping people fresh in and out so far here in the first quarter. Now one official over to the scorers table. There is 15 on the shot clock, 1:49 on the game clock, and it appears everything is okay. White will inbound the basketball on the baseline. Quakers 4 across. Wiesner will receive, bouncing to Spears. Spears will spin, and they get her for a travel. 4th turnover now for the Quakers. And here may be your press. We thought this could be the case, and it's going to get a little bit harder right here. And there is almost a steal by White. Tipped it out of the hands of Studer right to Hudson. Hudson, lob pass, stolen away. 6 turnovers now for Mount St. Joe. Here's White off the glass, no, and a foul call against Mount St. Joe. They're going to get Hudson on the foul. That's her first, and here's White at the line. Kind of thought maybe things were going to heat up a little bit when the Quakers made that change and brought Wiesner back in. White now with 3. Earlham had given the Lions a little bit of that false sense of security and then turned on the press a little bit harder, and Mount St. Joe wasn't quite ready for it. 17-9. White is out. Bowling back in. 3 quick guards now for the Quakers. With a basketball near side. Markham back to midcourt. Studer, and across the timeline to Studer again. Here's Markham. That 3 is way off the mark. Goes out of bounds, and an air ball shot that time by Mackenzie Markham. Quakers will get it back. You know, as I said, you look up and down this lineup for Mount St. Joe, they've got a lot of freshmen playing. If they all stay together, they could be pretty good in the next couple of years. 1:08 to go. Ball loose in the corner. And it will remain Earlham basketball with 1:06 remaining in period number 1. 19 on the shot clock. Bowling will inbound deep in the corner. Studer on the guard, tips it out of bounds again. Quakers made another change. Kyra Joseph, the 5'7" sophomore out of Indianapolis, is checked into the lineup. Quakers go about as small as they can go right here. Zoe only going at about 5'10", and she's up against a 6'3" post player in Fairfield. Here's Bowling. Bowling also out of Jacksonville High School in Osgood. Now running the point. Joseph on the high screen. Bowling will give it off now to Wiesner. 7 on the shot clock. Wiesner lobbing inside. Turnover Quakers. They try to get it to Zoe. Back across the 10-second line is Studer. Studer off now to Sturwold. Sturwold bouncing high to Fairfield. Fairfield looking down low. Nothing there. Here's a three-pointer on the way from the outside by Sturwold. And the rebound Quakers, 1 and done for Mount St. Joe. Bowling across the 10-second line. 28 seconds remaining here in the first half. 20 on the shot clock. Bowling almost has it taken away by Hudson. Driving baseline. Wiesner in the corner. Spears for 3. It's long, and it will go out of bounds. And the shot clock will be turned off. 15.7 remaining now here in the first quarter of play. Quakers again with the 8-point lead. Here's your press once again. They may try to jump and get a trap at some point right here, but they'll get it into the half court. Here's Studer. Studer with 5 seconds, driving, no on the shot. Rebound Zoe, gets it to Bowling, and Bowling will heave it, and that's going to do it for the first period of play. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers on top of this one, 17-9. This is Earlham Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sport.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
We're back here at the Athletics and Wellness Center. Game 1 of 2 here this afternoon. Today's game brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subways. Each day of the week you can get a different 6-inch sub. No artificial flavors or colors, only $3.50. Every Monday they have the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Wednesday the turkey breast. Friday the tuna. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. Quakers led in that first period. Good balanced scoring. Curtis with 4, Newhart with 4, White with 4, Flynn with 2. Leading the way from Mount St. Joe, 4 points by Tucker, 3 points by Markham. And the Quakers, a much different beginning to this game than the last time these two teams got together. Quakers got out to a very slow start in that first matchup, and they were down big at halftime. But now they stay right in this one as we're ready for period number 2. Tucker off the inbound. Studer, that could have been close to over and back by Studer. Studer now with the right hand dribble drive, gives it off now to Tucker. Tucker, skip pass, left wing Sturwold. Fairfield in the high post. Gets the double team, spins away from it, gives it out now to Sturwold once again with the right hand. It'll be Tucker out front. Tucker, the screen by Fairfield, 8 on the shot clock. Here is Studer. Studer back to Tucker. Tucker picks up her dribble, 2 seconds on the shot clock, launches and misses. Could have been a shot clock violation. Quakers get the rebound. Outlet pass to White, layup good. Transition for the Quakers. Good defense at one end. 6 points now by White. Quakers lead it now by 10. Here's Laney Studer. Studer gets the screen. Nice ball fake and scores. Studer getting her first 2 points, averaging nearly 13. Tanette will kick it out from White, and that'll be a travel on Flynn. That'll be the 6th turnover now on the Quakers. Latea Wynn will check in, a 5'4" freshman out of Lexington, Kentucky. Another freshman on the floor again for Mount St. Joe. Wynn will pick it up and give it out now to Studer. Studer looking for the screen, will drive, kisses off the glass, rolls in and out. Newhart with a rebound. Earlham back the other way. Tanette, lead pass will find Spears on the right side. Flynn out front to White at the elbow. White will drive. That shot on the way good. White, a quick release to the basket. White coming off that 20 points against Defiance now has 8 points here this afternoon. Wiesner set to check back in for the Quakers. Here's Hudson. Wynn with the basketball, bouncing to Fairfield in the high post. Wynn receives it once again. Off on the right wing to Studer. Back to Wynn. Left hand, no. And the rebound, Newhart. Tanette with the basketball for the Quakers. Quickly to White. Quakers on the run once again. White will reverse it. Now goes to the wing. Open 3 on the way. Missed it badly. Ball will be saved from going out of bounds by Wynn to Sturwold. Here come the Lions once again. Studer across the timeline. Will find Wynn once again. That on the high screen once again will be Fairfield. Dumped in the left corner to Hudson. And back outside once again to Sturwold. 7:34 in the second quarter. 10 on the shot clock. Wynn can't get by Newhart. Fires and misses off the back of the iron. Fairfield with a rebound. She will get it to Studer for 3. That's badly missed. And Mount St. Joe cold early in this one. Quakers to Newhart. Basket good. Give that assist to White, and we've got a timeout on the floor called by Mount St. Joe. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, 7:11 to go, period number 2. Quakers on top of this one, 23-11. Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond. Well, Quakers now a 12-point lead here in the second quarter, and they are out and running here this afternoon. That was a beautiful play that time for the Quakers to get out and run, and Cameron White, now the Quakers' leading scorer with 8. Wynn will bring it across the timeline up the left sideline. Here is Haberthy with the basketball. Tucker against Mariah Flynn. Nothing there as Tucker will reset it. Here's a high screen by Hudson. Tucker to Hudson, back to Tucker. Here's her three on the way. That's off the mark, and everything they're putting up now is just not even close. And Earlham, loose basketball. White hustling after it. White down the lane again. And how about White so far now with 10 points here in the first half, and the Quakers have a 14-point lead. Here's Tucker. Setting the high screen is Hudson. Tucker, the backdoor cut. Good defense again by Cameron White. Boy, Cameron played that perfectly. Deny the pass to the outside. When you turn back to the inside, get that hand out there and get the deflection. And that ball goes out of bounds. Mount St. Joe turnover number 7. Quaker basketball. Mount St. Joe now showing some trap. Quakers break it easily. Flynn will give it back to White. White, Wiesner, 3 on the way. Good. And everything going Earlham's way here in the first half of play. Wiesner gets her first points of the day. A 17-point lead now for the Quakers. 5:50 to go here in the first half. Once again, here's Haberthy. Haberthy, the crossover to the right hand, back to Tucker. Tucker, she too crosses, drives, and scores. Tucker now with 6. 5:29 remaining in the first half. Quakers lead at 28-13. Bowling across the timeline, picks up her dribble, gets it now to Wiesner. Flynn with the basketball at the left elbow. Lob pass inside for Zoe Curtis, and that's going to be a foul. Basket is good, and the foul call against Hudson. Zoe strong underneath, able to finish. Joseph back in. Quakers will also bring Tanette back in. Zoe Curtis, averaging 12 points per game, will step in now with 6 points. And the free throw's on the way and good. And Earlham right now having their way with Mount St. Joe here in the second quarter. And it really all started when they began to really trap harder. Yeah, on the wing is Haberthy for 3. Rims in and out. Wynn with a rebound and a traveling call against Mount St. Joe. That is their 8th turnover here in the first half. So far, Mount St. Joe has not found an answer, and they just are not shooting well in this second quarter. Here's Bowling. Inside again to Zoe. Quick release, no. Missing that one close, and the rebound by Markham. Here's Tucker across the 10-second line. And now Tucker will glide to her left. Top of the key, gets the screen there from Hudson. The feed to Wynn for 3. They miss it again. Another one and done. The rebound by Zoe Curtis. Tanette with the basketball on the left wing. Back outside to Bowling. Ball is tipped. Bowling hustling after the loose ball. Ball will be picked up in a traveling call, but good hustle the other way as Haberthy will get called for the travel. 9th turnover now for Mount St. Joe. Jalea Fair-Harris has checked in now for Mount St. Joe. She's a 5'6" freshman out of Columbus, Ohio. Zoe Curtis will sit down. Rosie Newhart has checked back into the lineup. And coming out will be Haberthy for Mount St. Joe. And returning for the Lions will be Laney Studer. Quakers facing the zone trap again. Wiesner crossed the timeline, lost it, tried to go between two defenders. 7th turnover now for the Quakers. 31-13, only 4 points scored for Mount St. Joe here in the first 6 minutes of period number 2. High post again to Hudson. Here's a shot from the corner. Another bad shot as Markham can't get it to go. The rebound Bowling, and Earlham's going to get a timeout right here. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers on top of this one, 31-13.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
Quaker basketball following the timeout as White will drive down the lane. Wiesner deep in the corner, 16 on the shot clock, back here at the Athletics and Wellness Center. Tenet will give it off now to White. White, Joseph the high screen. Here is Wiesner, entry pass to Newhart, turns and can't get it to go. Rebound Newhart, blocked shot on the near side by Studer, and the Quakers come away with it once again. And then they turn it over. 8th turnover by the Quakers. In transition, Studer blocked out of bounds by Wiesner. Back in the ball game for the Quakers, Spears will check in. Also, Mariah Flynn will check in the lineup. 3:18 to go here in the first half of play. Quakers again, an excellent second quarter. And they've separated themselves in this one. Here's Markham. That shot's off the mark. I'm going to have to check here and see what their shooting percentage has dropped down to, because I tell you what, they have had a tough second quarter. And right now they're shooting 21%, 5 of 24 in the first half. They must have played in the EBL. Here's Markham. Markham spins, left hand, throws that one up. Didn't even really know where that ball was going, and there is another foul. They're going to get Markham. And right now, Earlham's making this no contest. We said we'll keep an eye on 2 other games today, the Franklin at Bluffton contest, and, of course, Manchester home against Rose. And you would think Bluffton and Rose would win those 2 games. Quakers win this. Quakers are in. 2:50 to go. Tenet with the basketball, looking left to Spears. Spears shot fake back to Tenet. Newhart working down in the low post, receives the basketball from White. White able to run down the loose ball. Flynn down the lane. That's off the glass and good. Well, on senior day, everything working right now for the Quakers. Flynn with 4. Here is Fair Harris with the basketball. And she will almost lose it, but eventually gets it to Studer on the left elbow. Studer will find Hudson for 3. They miss again. And the rebound to net, and a rebounding foul called against Fair Harris. So their shooting percentage continues to get lower and lower. And for head coach Dan Benjamin, he's yelling at the official, but you can't do much about how badly they're shooting. Spears will bring it back out to Flynn. Tenet. White had the backdoor cut. They missed her. Here's Spears once again off to White. Flynn, shot fake, driving to the baseline. The kick out. Spears' three-pointer is short, and that will go to bounds. And the Quakers come up empty in this possession. 1:48 remaining in the first half. It is a 20-point lead for the Quakers. Earlham had an 8-point lead at the end of the first quarter. With the cold shooting and the good defense by the Quakers, especially getting Mount St. Joe out of their flow here this afternoon has been the big difference in this second quarter. On the high post is Studer. Studer guarded by Spears. Studer on the drive, and they're going to get Spears on the foul. That's pretty good defense, though, by Spears. Quakers come back with Zoe Curtis. Wiesner checking in. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. Ball kicked out to Fair Harris. She'll drive down the lane, and there's the foul call. Mount St. Joe, they haven't scored in a long time. They're going to get White on the foul. That'll be her second. Fair Harris at the line for 2 shots. 1:23 remaining here in the first half. Shannon Pittman will come in for the first time today. Pittman, a 5'11 sophomore out of White River Valley High School in Lyons, Indiana. Second free throw by Fair Harris. And that one is no good, so 1 of 2 for Fair Harris. It'll be Quaker basketball. Tanette, who stepped into that starting lineup about halfway through the season, will get it to Pittman, who will drive to the baseline. Ball knocked out of her hands. Tucker coming from behind. Still 19 on the shot clock. 1:12 here in the first half of play. Flynn able to run that ball down as she takes it away from Stierwold. Here is the drive by Pittman. Kicks it off to Wiesner. Her 3 is on the way. That's no good. And the rebound by Studer. Studer will push that against Pittman, and we've got an offensive foul. And for head coach Dan Benjamin, he's still not happy. But Studer just picked up her second. 10th turnover now by Mount St. Joe. Well, I'm sure there's some frustration for Coach Benjamin right now as his team unable to get anything going here in the second quarter. Pittman back to Tanette. 40 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Tanette now facing a 2-3 zone, turns it over. 9th turnover for the Quakers. Here's Studer with the basketball, and she gives it right back. That's 11. Wiesner down on the floor, and we have a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Quakers. But Earlham losing that possession. That'll be number 10. 26 seconds remaining. They can shut the, well, they're going to put 24 on the shot clock. It shouldn't be on right now if the Quakers have the basketball, because that possession changed over again. But they'll say 24. And now Mount St. Joe will go ahead and press. And the Quakers will commit their 11th turnover in the first half. Here's Tucker. So a chance here for Mount St. Joe. Fair Harris with the basketball. Here's her 3 on the way. No good. Boy, they have been close on many of those. Pittman will get on the floor. This will stay with Mount St. Joe. Lions will have one last chance, perhaps, as Fair Harris will come out. And back in the ball game, Mackenzie Markham. So here we go. Let's see what Mount St. Joe will do with their final possession. Lob pass down low. Here's Tucker. Tucker will go to the line. Good pass by Hudson to go opposite and find Tucker. Tucker will go back to the free throw line for the 3rd time today. Foul will go against Shannon Pittman. Pittman will pick up number 1. And now Tucker with 7 points, now make it 8. Well, the Quakers still get a chance. Tanette with the basketball, loses it. Quakers turn it over. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers will go into the locker room with a 17-point lead. Stay right there. Halftime report is coming up in a moment. This is Quaker Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto, in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. In a small town, a company like theirs cannot stay in business for as long as they have without being very good at what they do. It's not just about quality work, it's about customer service. If that's the kind of experience you want on your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Call Reynolds Plumbing today at 966-0994. For over a century, Richmond Power & Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, they are advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. Richmond Power & Light provides reliable, low-cost energy and technology services in a customer-focused, environmentally responsible, safety-conscious manner. Richmond Power & Light. Together we make powerful partners.
For the past 35 years, Van Vliet Insurance has built a reputation of bringing a personal touch. That's because at Van Vliet, it's all about you, your needs, your life, and our town. Along with providing quality coverage to individuals, families, and local businesses, we're proud of our community and the opportunity we have to protect your future within it. Van Vliet Insurance, an Erie Insurance representative. Hometown professionals at work for you.
At Square Donuts, we take our donuts seriously, and apparently so do our customers. Square Donuts is by far the #1 donut shop in Richmond. At Square Donuts, we bake our donuts, cinnamon rolls, long johns, and many other varieties fresh daily. Donuts became our family tradition and business in 1967, and we've continued through 3 generations. Square Donuts in Richmond has 2 locations, including 1241 Northwest 5th Street and 3637 East Main in the Hoppy Jeweler Plaza. Square Donuts of Richmond. We never cut corners and never will.
We are back here at the Athletics and Wellness Center, the campus of Earlham College. We have doubleheader basketball here today. We'll follow this up with the men's contest. That will head your way at around 3:15, 3:30 this afternoon. Longtime Richmond resident and Indiana All-Star, and boy, you're still active in basketball. Jerry Coleman joining us here, and you get a chance to come up and catch quite a few Earlham basketball games, and you've been doing it for years. They're starting to get to the point where they're trying to be a little more competitive year in and year out.
Yes, so I come over here and do my individual workouts with my kids and get opportunity to see them practice. Mm-hmm. And the young lady, the head coach of the girls team, she's doing a wonderful job, and they're really competing in practice, and it shows out here in the game tonight and throughout the season.
Yeah. All right, when you mentioned that you do a lot of individual work, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with a lot of our kids around the area.
I have a thing going on called Living Proof Skill Development.
Okay.
It's out of my own, I'm just doing this. I'm not on the website. I'm not on anything. I'm doing it by word of mouth.
Okay.
And it's for kids, boys and girls, 3rd grade up to high school. And what I want to do, Troy, is plant a seed into the kids on their fundamentals.
Right.
Because if we don't put the fundamentals in at a young age, and when they get to the high school level and they can't do the fundamentals, then we really cheated them out of a lot of things.
Right.
So I just want to give back, like some role models gave me in my life, and give opportunity to be part of these kids' success.
All right, that brings up my next question. And when you mention the word fundamentals, and, you and I, you said this before we got on the air, we've known each other for a long time. Do you see today in a lot of our kids a lack of really good fundamental basketball, especially at a younger age, and by the time they get to the high school level, coaches having to reteach and do a lot of that? Are we seeing a kind of not the development we used to see?
I think you're very, very 100% true on that, because, these kids nowadays are not as active like me and you was, Troy, by being in the playgrounds and being outside. They watch TV a lot, and a lot of TV is not always good when it comes to fundamentals.
Yeah.
NBA has a lot of guys got skill sets that they can get away with in the NBA.
Yeah.
So I advise the young kids to watch high school games, watch lower college games, because they are really focusing on the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And if you don't have fundamentals, which would prepare you in life,
yeah,
you're not only going to make it.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to install in the kids, and I call it living proof because, Troy, here's someone like my size. I'm 5'8", and if I could do it, it gives them an opportunity to lead down a direction and a path.
Yeah.
The things I give them, they can have some kind of belief and a dream that they can do it as well.
But the mindset of a lot of kids today is it's not sexy and pretty to come out here and work on the fundamentals, and so they don't shoot the free throws the way that we used to sit in the gym and just shoot hundreds of free throws. So what do you do to encourage them to continue to do it that way instead of getting into the other parts that can come as long as you are good at the fundamentals?
I agree with you 100% because we know first thing kids do is come out and shoot three-pointers.
Yeah.
So in my particular groups, we start inside first.
Yeah.
We start with the fundamentals as far as following through, as far as getting your feet squared. And then before you can ever think about a three-pointer, you have to be able to make a 10-foot shot.
Yeah, that's right.
And Troy, you've been around a lot of basketball, and you have been doing this on Radio Troy for a little time. You see a lot of kids not squared up right.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of kids not following through.
Yeah.
So if you can get that at a young age, it comes repetition.
Yeah.
So when you come to getting older, it's a mindset thing.
Yeah. And what you said right there is true. It's repetition. You got to do it over and over and over until it becomes so second nature you don't even think about it.
That's right. And it also, I encourage the parents to come to these individual skill sets where they can understand what I'm trying to get accomplished.
Yeah.
So on their own time, I can't fix the problem in 1 hour.
Right.
You have to go out every day and spend an hour of your own time in order to get better.
Yeah.
So that is the main key for me.
All right, well, that brings up, here I am bombing you with questions today. It brings up another aspect of it. If you want to be good at this,
it's hard work.
You got to put the work in. You got to put the time in.
If you want to be good, it hurts.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Because you're going to have to sacrifice something else.
And that's why I tell each and every one of the kids, you've already a step ahead of some of your friends and teammates because you choose to be here today putting in work while they're sleeping or they're playing Xbox or they're playing PlayStation. If they doesn't do that, Troy, 1 hour with me is not going to solve the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right, so that brings up when we look at some of the skill sets that you're seeing, how long do you generally want them with you? And it's certainly, I would imagine, a long time because you got so much to work on sometimes. But like you said, it's going to take a long time to do this, so you got to be patient with it too.
Yes. What I do is have them for 1 hour and teach them a few things. I don't want to teach them 8 things, Troy. I want to give them 3 things so they can master 3 things.
Right.
Why would I give them 8 things and be average at 8 when you can get 3 and be good at 3?
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
So then I go and watch them play.
Okay.
So then I see what they need to, correct it on, and then the next session we get them again, we work on that.
Yeah.
So each week I keep going back so we can master those 2 or 3 things before we can move on to the next things.
Yeah, very true. Let me ask you this. How then can people get a hold of you if they're interested in getting with you and learning about this game a little bit more?
Well, you can reach me right now. I'm going to give you my phone number. I haven't got a website stuff put up yet because I've been doing it by word of mouth because I just wanted to give back, and I see so many kids lacking in the fundamentals. So my phone number is 765 area code 977 6312, and you can reach me at that number and leave a message if you need to, and I'll be happy to get back with you. Then I'll give you other information about times, places, and different things like that because I'm just getting started back on this, and I'm not doing this to satisfy me.
Sure.
I'm doing this to satisfy and get them to what they want to dream and their goals and what they want to do in life.
It is nice to see that you are giving back. We have we just go through another shooting down in the Miami area, and it breaks my heart to see something like that happen. And you have a chance now to help a lot of these young individuals who sometimes don't have the direction in their life that they need. And we got to have these kids have more direction, don't we?
Yes. So what I think helps me, as you know me, I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
There's proof out there that I've done it. So maybe that gives a green light in the young man and young lady's head to say, hey, he's telling me something that he's already done.
Yeah.
And you know as well as I know, Troy, when you have kids, you can say something to your kid, then I can say something, but it's the same thing, but it's a different meaning.
Yeah.
In a different tone that the kid, it might click. So I want the parents involved just as much as me.
And they're probably going to listen to you more than they may the parents, because they hear the parents all the time, and sometimes that just kind of becomes, white noise in the background. They need to hear somebody who's been there before. So
I'm just so pleased about the outcome of some of the kids I've got and going to their games. And when I'm sitting there, Troy, and people don't know why I'm there, and they can say, well, this young lady has improved so much, and they don't even know that I'm working with this young lady or young man. It just makes me smile because I'm headed in the right direction with this individual.
Very true.
And it's all about giving back, man. I mean, you've known each other for a long time. We work out in the gym together. And if we could get more kids to be more physically active, but start on the fundamentals, take the ESPN look off their face, and keep it simple, the good look stuff comes later within the transition of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, man.
Sure, this might sound, no, I ain't going to take your job, man. You work too hard for me.
Hey, listen, if you take my job, you're going to take a pay cut, okay? So you don't be doing that silly stuff. So we will, by the way, in fact, for those of you that know Jerry, you're not only here, we probably see you at IU East games, we see you at Richmond games, Seton games. You here last night, in fact, weren't you?
Yeah, I was here last night watching the Seton and the Lincoln game, so I had a friend of mine's son plays on that. I'm going to be at the Richmond game Tuesday to say hello to a good friend of mine, Chandler Thompson.
Okay,
coaches, Muncie Central men Chandler played against each other. Good friend of mine, so I guess I get to see you again on Tuesday, Troy.
You'll see me on Tuesday. Harry Bonzi Wells is going to be there, too.
Well, Bonzi? Well, I don't know Bonzi as well as I know Chandler, but both of them are great ball players.
Yeah, they are. Hey, good to see you again, sir.
No
Appreciate
problem,
it, as
man.
always.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry Coleman. If you want more information, 765-977-6312. Make your appointment and get those young people in the gym. Halftime 33-16. We'll come back and run down those first half numbers in a moment. This is Earlham Women's Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Summit Computer Systems is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware service, support, design services, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and more. Summit Computers, 1427 Chester Boulevard in Richmond. Give them a call at 939-2120. Finding a used car dealership you can trust is not an easy thing to do, but for me, the choice was an easy one. I went to Tony's Car Sales in Richmond. I purchased my last 2 cars from Tony's and couldn't be happier with the service. They didn't pressure me, and they worked with me through the entire process. If you're in the market for a great used vehicle, get to Tony's Car Sales in Richmond, 250 National Road West, or give them a call at 962-5665, or go to their website, tonyscarsales.com.
Again, thanks to Jerry Coleman for joining us here at the half. Let's go ahead and run down those first half numbers for Mount St. Joe. They ended up shooting just 19% in that first half of play. In fact, they were just 2 of 16 in the second quarter alone. They were 5 of 27, 1 of 11 from three-point range. They finished with 16 rebounds, 6 offensive boards, 1 assist, 11 turnovers, 1 block, and 9 steals. They were led in scoring by Alea Tucker with 8, 3 points by Mackenzie Markham, single point by Jalea Fair-Harris, 2 points by Brooklyn Sturwold, and 2 points by Lainey Studer. Quakers ended up shooting 45%. They were 14 of 31 in that first half. 2 of 10 from three-point range. They finished with 25 rebounds, 7 offensive boards. They ended up with 8 assists, 12 turnovers, 1 block, 7 steals. Cameron White, an excellent first half, 4 of 5 shooting, 10 points for the Quakers, 4 points by Mariah Flynn. Kendall Spears with 3, Zoe Curtis with 7 points and 5 rebounds. Amy Wiesner finished with 3 points and 4 boards. And Rosie Newhart coming off the bench for the Quakers, 6 points and 5 rebounds in that first half. We will come back the second half in just a couple of moments. Quakers on top of this one on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, 33-16. This is Quaker Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Our community, it's where we live, it's where we work, it's where we play. At West End Bank, we're not just in the community, we're a part of the community. And that's why we support over 100 programs for local nonprofits and schools, including our financial literacy program that positively impacts countless students throughout the area. You bank locally, so we give back locally to watch people grow with endless possibilities.
Since 1994, Beach Automotive has provided motorists in the Richmond area with comprehensive auto repair services that include car and truck care, alignment, brakes, tires, engine, transmission, and more. You'll be hard-pressed to find the same level of expertise that our auto mechanic specialists provide. For a high-performing vehicle, trust Beach Automotive. To learn more, call 765-966-8181. Beach Automotive, 110 East Main Street, Richmond.
We're back here at the Athletics and Wellness Center as we get set for the second half. We'll follow this game up with the men's contest. That's probably about 25 minutes following the completion of this game. We'll try to check out the scoreboard if we get an opportunity to see what else is happening in the HCAC and women's college basketball this afternoon. As we told you earlier in the pregame, we're trying to keep an eye on the Manchester Rose game and the Franklin Bluffton game. If Manchester and Franklin both lose and Mount St. Joe loses this one, Quakers will qualify for the HCAC women's tournament. It'll be the first time in their history. Quaker basketball, Tennette with the ball in the corner once again to Sparks. Quakers working inside to Zoe, to White on the outside. Short jumper, no good. And the rebound for Mount St. Joe coming away with that one is Haley Hudson. Tucker will push that ball up the floor now to Studer. Tucker receives right in front of her own bench, and that's where they'll set things up for the Lions. Studer will receive the basketball between the circles. They'll go 1-4 high and then break from there at 12 seconds on the shot clock. Studer, backdoor cut Tucker. Good defense by the Quakers and Sparks. Here's a short jumper the way, good. As stepping out, the big one, Fairfield at 6'3" to hit the jumper. Fairfield gets her first two. And it's back to a 33-18 lead. Here's Sparks, now to Cameron White. Entry pass, left-hand shot, good. Boy, Zoe is so quick. She doesn't hesitate. Very rarely will give you a head fake, but again, quick with that release. Nothing that Fairfield could do defensively to get a hand on the shot. 9 points now by Zoe Curtis. Here's Tucker out front, 8:38 to go in the quarter. Tucker guarded there by Sparks, and that'll be a reaching foul against Zoe. That'll be her first. Zoe at 1 point earlier in the year. Of course, she really doesn't get into foul trouble that often. But again, Zoe's been outsized most of the time at only 5'10". The Quakers don't have a whole lot of size up and down their lineup, so they want to make sure Zoe stays in the ball game. That shot's on the way, no good by Studer. Ball loose, picked up by Cameron White. Quick outlet pass now to Sparks. Sparks will bring it across the timeline, back to White. White tried to drive between two defenders, knocked out of her hands. 13th turnover now for the Quakers. And it'll be Tucker bringing the ball up the floor once again. With the ball is Sturwald on the left wing now to Studer. Studer with the right hand to the top. 18 on the shot clock. Fairfield on the high post. Here is Studer with the basketball. Once again, Hudson back to Studer inside Fairfield. The kick deep in the corner. It'll be Sturwald for three. Good. And a little run put together here by Mount St. Joe. Down by 14, Quaker basketball. Flynn will give it off now to Sparks. Sparks to White in the corner, Tennette. Inside, Zoe turns to the right, misses it. Kicks it back out after receiving the basketball. That shot no good on the outside by Sparks. And the rebound, Mount St. Joe bringing that one down to Studer. Tucker, lead pass to Fairfield, and Fairfield misses the layup. And the rebound by Flynn. Fairfield had a puppy right there and couldn't get it to finish. Here's Tennette, quickly across the timeline, dribbles away from the double team. Flynn to the near side, once again Sparks on the left wing. Sparks top of the key, entry pass to Zoe, left hand this time, Fairfield blocks it, and coming back with it is White. Quakers able to get it back. Mount St. Joe with their 13th turnover, back inside to Zoe, layup good. Quakers stay with it. That's 11 now for Zoe. And then White comes back and gets the turnover. White with a big steal. Quakers forcing the 14th turnover of the ball game. Here's Cameron White, little floater. That's no good. Fairfield tips it, saved by Zoe Curtis, but right to Sturwold now for Mount St. Joe. 37-21. Once again on the drive will be Sturwold. Stops, now will shoot the three, miss it short. Rebound by Curtis. And here's Tanette with the basketball. Acacia going by two defenders. Numbers here for the Quakers. White will receive the basketball, drives, layup good. And just like that, Quakers get it back to 18. Cameron White with 12. Here's the trap once again. Quakers will peel back quickly. Sturwold with the basketball. Gives it back outside to Hudson. Hudson now with the drive to the circle. Hudson hesitates and then misses another layup. Two layups right there from Mount St. Joe. Dan Benjamin looks to his bench. Lead pass will find White. White left it short, gets another offensive rebound, kicks it out to Zoe. Spears to the near side. Flynn back to Tanette, right side to White, will clear it out. White with the left hand, backs it away again. Lob pass will find Flynn. Inside to Zoe. Zoe misses it. May have been intimidated a little bit that time by the long arms of Fairfield. Here's Tucker down to numbers. Tucker now will drive against Spears, and they're going to count the basket and the foul on Spears, and she'll pick up her third. Changes on both teams. We'll see Riley Davis come in for Mount St. Joe. Haberthy coming back in for Mount St. Joe as well. Wiesner is in. Newhart is in for the Quakers. And Bowling also checking in. So Tucker goes to the line. Will look to complete the three-point play. Will not do so. Quaker basketball. Bowling nearly lost it. Bouncing to Wiesner. Basket good. Quakers run the floor again. Mount St. Joe unable to get back in time. 5 points by Wiesner. Bowling gets another assist. Mount St. Joe on the attack. Crossing the timeline is Haberthy. Will give it to Davis and back outside now to Tucker. Tucker, the crossover to the left hand, gives it off once again to Haberthy. Haberthy, her crossover to the left, dribble, drive, and we've got a foul call against Wiesner. So Wiesner picks up number 1. Quakers pick up team foul number 3. 4:44 to go here in the third quarter, and Mount St. Joe will inbound on the baseline. Boy, Dan Benjamin thought he had those first two baskets down, and the Quakers came back and answered, kind of took the wind out of their sails. Here's Studer. Tucker in the lane, stripped out of her hands by Bowling. Turnover number 15 by Mount St. Joe. Good defense again for the Quakers. White with the basketball, almost had it stolen away out front by Studer. Flynn will give it off now to Bowling way out front. Here's Bowling trying to get by Tucker. Ball stripped away, loose on the floor. Turnover Quakers. That's number 14. Tucker will now find Haberthy in the corner. Here's a shot by Studer, no good. And waiting for that one to hit the floor for the Quakers is Wiesner. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining now here in the third quarter. Lead pass Wiesner. Wiesner stops. Will now pivot. Gets it inside to Newhart. Newhart to White down the lane, off the front of the rim. Offensive, or nope, we're going to call that a rebounding foul against Newhart, and that'll be her first. Tanette coming back in for the Quakers. Hudson will check in for Mount St. Joe. Also coming into the lineup will be Mackenzie Markham. By the way, Hanover beat Mount St. Joe the other night, 76-52. That was a big win there for Hanover as they continue to play well down the stretch. We saw Hanover earlier this year for head coach Shauna Watson coming out of Hanover. I'm sure she'd love nothing more than to maybe get into the tournament and play her former team. Quakers pick up the foul. That foul called on Cameron White. That's going to be her third. At the line is Studer. Spears back in. Studer, by the way, at the line, 3 points. Now 1 of 3 from the line. 3:46 to go. And second free throw's no good. The rebound by Newhart. I promise you we'll check that scoreboard. Tanette has it kicked right back to her by Spears. Quaker basketball in the half court. Here's Spears. Wiesner to net left wing. Newhart posting up against Davis underneath. Once again, Spears crossing to the left hand. Wiesner receives at the circle. Here's Flynn. Left hand shot on the way. Rims in and out. Can't get it to go. Long rebound. Wiesner comes away with it. Wiesner able to strip it away from Haberthy and avoid the tie-up. Quakers get a fresh 30. Here's Tennette once again. Spears at the left elbow. Now we'll put it on the floor with a right hand. Wiesner, entry pass to Newhart. Double team. Newhart spins with it, gives it off to Wiesner. 10 on the shot clock. Spears once again will find Flynn. Flynn on the drive and a reaching foul against Mount St. Joe. It's going to be Tucker who picked up her second. The good thing about that possession is the Quakers did not give up the basketball as Zoe Curtis comes back in, and you ran 21 seconds off of that shot clock. So now the Quakers get a fresh 30. Tennette will inbound. Spears, top of the key three, no. Long rebound. Tennette runs it down in the right corner, and the Quakers get another 30 on the shot clock. Lob pass. Flynn inside to Curtis. Curtis receives. Double team. Blocked. Gets it back and never gave up on it. How about Zoe Curtis just continually fighting for the loose basketball? Now has 13. Quakers lead it by 19. Mount St. Joe basketball. Hudson will hand it off now to Haberthy. Haberthy between the circles, guarded out front by Spears. There's your screen by Davis. Step back, three on the way, no good, as Haberthy can't get to fall, and they continue to struggle from the outside. Right now in women's basketball, Hanover is beating Defiance 55-28. Defiance will drop their record to 5-13. Hanover will win their 13th game of the season. Quaker basketball once again. We'll check out the other scores. Here's Tennette in the corner. Wiesner will reverse it now to Spears. That is Zoe Curtis on the high post. Flynn will get it now to Zoe, who dropped to the low block, and a foul call again against Mount St. Joe. That's going to be against Hudson, her third. Team foul number 2, 1:54 remaining here in the quarter. Coming in the ball game, Sturwold, and coming out will be Hudson. Quakers again get another fresh 30. By the way, Anderson, Transylvania, they have not started as of yet. Here's Flynn, turnaround shot, good. Mariah Flynn, the senior. 6 points now for Flynn. Running the floor back the other way. Flynn didn't get back in time. Sturwold will get the easy layup. 45-26, back to a 19-point lead. Skip pass intended for Spears. Tucker almost got the steal. I'll take that back. Looks like they brought back in Jalea Fair-Harris, wearing number 5. And they're going to reset that shot clock. And that doesn't make Dan Benjamin very happy, because the Quakers had possession of the ball for a few seconds. Wiesner to Flynn. Her skip pass to Spears. Good ball movement. Back to Tennette. Once again, Spears at the right elbow. Still 19 on the shot clock. Quakers looking for their best opportunity right here. That was almost a steal there by Studer. Wiesner will bounce to Flynn. Flynn driving baseline, and a foul called against Fair-Harris. And that's going to put the Quakers, I believe, at the line, or is that number 4? Now they're going to see just number 3 now on Mount St. Joe. 5 for the Quakers, and Earlham throws it away. Tennette's pass intended for Spears in the corner goes out of bounds. 15 turnovers. Now, if you get tournament time, you're going to have to cut down on some of those unforced errors. 1:05 remaining now here in the first half. Sturwold will bring it across the timeline. There is Spears waiting. Sturwold will go on the right wing once again to Studer. 55 seconds. Lob pass, Sturwold. Quakers cover up quickly with Spears. 12 on the shot clock. And the kick back out to Studer. Studer gets the high screen from Davis. Studer, hesitation. Feeds it downside, inside to Fair-Harris. Off the side of the backboard. Ball flipped away. Tennette has it. Quaker basketball. Here come the Quakers in transition. Spears gets a nice screen. Layup good. Spears gets her first, too, but it was the screen by Curtis, enabling her to get wide open. Quakers by 21. Lead pass will find Sturwold. Her jumper's on the way. That's no good. Rebound Spears. Curtis ahead of the field running the floor. Curtis hands off to Wiesner. Wiesner drives, has it stripped out of her hands, and going out of bounds on the baseline with Sturwold. It'll remain Quaker basketball. Haberthy will check in. Latea Wynn will check in now for Mount St. Joe. 7.8 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Spears off the inbound. Spears looking for the screen. Spins. Shoots the three. Can't get it to go. Long rebound by Markham. We will head to the fourth quarter. Quakers well on their way to winning this one here this afternoon on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham on top of this one, 47-26.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course, pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023.
Let's go and get you updated again on the games that are going on right now. Of course, Quakers leading this one by 21. That Hanover game is in the third quarter, and Hanover leading Defiance 62-35. Transylvania now leading Anderson 10-2 in that contest. But the other two games we'll watch, Franklin and Bluffton. They will start, in fact, they're scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. They should be underway, but they don't have any score updated yet. And then Manchester and Rose, that game will not start until 3 o'clock. So Earlham may have to wait a little bit to see what happens between Manchester and Rose to find out if they're going to qualify for the HCAC postseason. It will be Mount St. Joe basketball. Studer will receive in the backcourt. She's come awful close a couple of times to going over and back when receiving the ball. Here's Studer once again, the handoff by Haberthy, and a traveling call against Fair Harris. We have the Lions now for 16 turnovers in this one. Quaker basketball. You're up by 21 right now. See if the Quakers can play a little more in the half court, try to run some time off the clock. They did a pretty good job of that at the end of the third. Spears will take it all the way down the lane, but I think we've got an offensive foul. They may have gotten Zoe that time trying to get another screen, but moved, and so they'll get Curtis on the offensive foul. That'll be turnover number 16 on the Quakers. Earlham men will play Mount St. Joe in the second game today. Mount St. Joe in first place in the HCAC. It'll be a tough challenge for the men this afternoon. Studer, and we've got a foul on Cameron White as she leveled Latea Wynn away from the basketball, and Cameron now's picked up her fourth. So White will come out of the ball game 12 points. Wiesner back in. And we'll see another 30 seconds on the shot clock here for the Lions. Davis, shot fake in the corner, got Zoe in the air, and Davis wisely brings it back out front to Studer. Studer crossing to the left hand. Davis with the screen. Nice backdoor cut. Block shot inside by Spears. And the ball will carry him out of bounds. It'll be Quaker basketball. So Mount St. Joe again will press. Quakers have had no issues with the press here today as Tanette will push the ball up the right sideline, virtually untouched, but then the Quakers throw it away. Back there the way we go. Studer in the corner. Three-point shot no good by Haberthy, and a rebound by Flynn. Now just take care of the basketball here. Tanette sometimes gets a little bit out of control, and we've seen her turn the ball over a couple of times, but still, to her defense, just a freshman. Here's Spears, entry pass, will it be intended for Curtis? Turnover again for the Quakers. That's number 18, and again, that's a thing they'll have to cut down if they make it to the postseason. Here's Studer once again. Well, the way the offense is going right now for Mount St. Joe, they just don't have enough time to get something going. They're going to have to work quick. Here's Davis. Davis, power dribble, missed it. And boy, you got to hit those shots too. You got to finish when you're that close to the rim. Quaker basketball. Lob pass inside once again to Curtis. Curtis will take it to the lane and score. And the Quakers up by 23. Zoe now with 15 points. And Earlham up 49-26. Lead pass in the corner to Haberthy. Her shot is no good. And a rebound once again by Tannett. Quakers will push the tempo again. Tannett, all kinds of energy. She brings it across the timeline. Flynn will go to Wiesner around the perimeter. Spears wide open, good. You can pretty much put this one in the bank as the Quakers now lead at 52-26. Once again with the basketball is Haberthy on the near side. Studer back to Haberthy. Shot fake drive. Feeds inside to Davis. Goes out of bounds. Turnover again for Mount St. Joe. That is their 17th. Sturwold will come back in. Rachel Fairfield will come in. Fairfield playing her final game. And also coming back in, Tucker now for Mount St. Joe. With the basketball once again is Tannett. Sparks, near foul by Tucker. Sparks able to spin away from the defense and once again goes back to Flynn. Here's Wiesner. Flynn, take that back. Spears will get it off to Tannett. Wiesner down the lane, left hand too hard. Tannett with a rebound, put back no. And Tucker will be fouled off the rebound as they will get Wiesner, who will pick up the foul. That'll be number 2 on Wiesner. 6:36 remaining here in the fourth. Quakers will put Tannett at the top of that defense, just try to slow things down against Mount St. Joe. Here's Sturwold now across the 10-second line. Fairfield in the high post. Flynn got a piece of it. It goes off the leg of Fairfield and out of bounds. It'll be a turnover again for Mount St. Joe. Cameron White is back in. She'll play with the 4 fouls, and with your 6:23 and a 52-26 lead, you feel comfortable again. We'll let White play it out here this afternoon. Wiesner out of the ball game. That's Flynn on the high screen. Once again, Spears off the drive. Ball tipped in the air, stolen away. Quakers turn it over for the 19th time. With the basketball is Hudson. Skip past Tucker. Tucker, 3 on the way. That's way off again. This is not going to be their shooting day. White again hustling after the loose basketball. 3-on-2 break the other way. Spears, short jumper, good. Quakers have been excellent for the most part in transition here this afternoon. 7 points now by Spears. Quakers lead it now 54-26. They will avenge the earlier loss to this team and do it in pretty good fashion as Tucker missed badly again on the layup. Tucker slow to get back but able to get the steal away from Cameron White. White should have looked behind, knowing that there was somebody there, and then a foul called on Tannett. And that'll be her second. Quakers now with 20 turnovers. So we head to the free throw line at 5:21 remaining here in period number 4. Studer. Bowling is back in. Tannett will sit down. Studer with 4. She averages nearly 13 a game. She's only scored 1 basket so far here today. Second free throw's no good. Flynn with a rebound. Now the Quakers at this point, you know you're going to get trapped, and Quakers are going to get a timeout right here. We'll take a timeout as well. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers lead this one 54-27.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Right before the break, I was about ready to say the one thing Quakers need to do right now is use the clock. There's not enough time and enough possessions in this game for Mount St. Joe to do anything. There's a nice cut to the basket, and then Flynn missed the reverse layup. The putback by White. Newhart will get the assist. That play run perfectly off the inbound. And Earlham using all their possessions. There won't be enough time left for Mount St. Joe to even mount a comeback. Tucker will shoot the three and hit it. One of the rare three-pointers by the Lions here today. White will lead pass now to Spears. Spears will throw it away. See, that's what I mean right there. There's really no hurry. Here come the Lions. Haberthy will drive, scores, and is fouled. Haberthy, by the way, averaging 15 a game. That is her first 2 points of the afternoon. Joseph is in. Flynn will sit down. The free throw's good. So Haberthy has been held in check here this afternoon. The Quakers still lead it by 23. Ball knocked out of bounds, and we'll see Zoe Curtis come in. Newhart is out. By the way, Rosie picked up that last foul, her third. I'd like to see Earlham again use some clock here, just for the simple fact that they do get into the tournament, they're going to have to, number one, take care of the basketball, but number two, really try to control it. The amount of possessions for the other team. Sometimes you have to slow your pace down a little bit. Here's Curtis turning to the baseline. Foul called on Fairfield. Zoe goes to the line for two. And tournament basketball is a whole lot different than the regular season. First free throw by Zoe is no good. 4:05 remaining. I would imagine if Shauna Watson gets this team into the playoffs, I don't know how the voting would go for Coach of the Year, as the second one is missed and Cameron White gets the rebound. Tell you what, White has looked really good over the last two games. Spears down the lane, too hard, gets the offensive rebound. Now just set it back up again. Take your time here in the half court. What you'll look here is run a little motion offense and then perhaps just to try to get a layup. White shot fake, little floater good. Boy, Cameron White, you go back the Defiance game and this game, her offense has been so much better. 14 points today, coming off a 20-point performance against Defiance in that win. Tucker gets the high screen. Feeds it in the corner. Here's Haberthy for three. Missed it, and the rebound by Spears. Quakers back once again. Tanette across the timeline. And will reverse it back out front. Good job that time by Tanette. Here's Joseph. Hands off now to White. White in the corner and steps out of bounds. So a turnover by the Quakers once again. Here's Studer checking in. Coming out of the ball game will be Sturwold. Newhart is back in once again for the Quakers. And here's Studer. Studer gets the high screen again from Fairfield. Tucker at the top of the key. Fairfield comes to set another screen. Tucker will stop and shoot the three. Missed it hard off the iron. The rebound, Cameron White again. White has apparently taken her vitamins today. I'll tell you what, rebounding, running the floor, going to the free throw line. Fairfield will pick up her third now for Mount St. Joe. So again, Cameron White to the line. This might be the best back-to-back games that Cameron has had from an offensive standpoint. Coming into the ball game now for the Quakers will be Taylor Stroud. Second free throw is good. So Taylor getting a chance to get into the lineup. Mount St. Joe will call a timeout. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers on top of this one, 59-33.
I got this.
I got this.
I got this.
At Harrington Hogue, we believe your life belongs to you. That's why we work hard to make sure that your insurance coverage is the last thing you have to worry about. So when it comes to keeping you protected,
We got this.
As we said a little bit ago, it'll be kind of a waiting game to see what happens with that 3 o'clock contest this afternoon to find out whether the Quakers will qualify for the HCAC postseason. We may know the details of that by the time we get done with the men's contest later this afternoon. But right now, under 2.5 minutes remaining, Tucker, the wide open three, that's no good. Tanette with a rebound. Mount St. Joe will try to press, and there's a foul call against Studer. That'll be her third. That is only the third team foul now on Mount St. Joe here in the fourth quarter. One change as Fair Harris coming out of the lineup, and we have a foul call against Mount St. Joe as Wiesner trying to split the double team. They will get Latea Wynn on the foul. That is her first. Fourth team foul now on Mount St. Joe. Newhart back to Tanette. And we're coming up on 2 minutes. You think you run down another 20, you're going to get it down to about 1:40 to go. Here's Wiesner. Bowling was checked into the lineup now for the Quakers. We mentioned Stroud is in. That is Stroud on the high post. Tanette left side, back once again to Bowling. Here comes your screen at 6 on the shot clock. Bowling off the glass, rims in and out. Wiesner with the offensive rebound, blocked by Tucker. Mount St. Joe basketball, and a foul called against Taylor Stroud in the backcourt. As Tucker goes to the floor, Tucker will now head to the line for 2 shots. Taylor out of Mitchell, Indiana, played her high school basketball at West Washington High School. Free throw is good. Ashlea Meadows will come in. Pittman is checked in. Quakers cleaning off their bench. Second free throw is good as well. A couple of changes now. We will also see Fairfield come into the lineup again for Mount St. Joe. Star Giles will check in out of Xenia, Ohio, another freshman at 5'4". As Mount St. Joe knows this one is in the books here today with 1:35 remaining. The drive by Meadows. The shot is missed. Meadows with the offensive rebound, back to Pittman. Here's Meadows. Now to Bowling. There's a screen by Pittman at the top of the key. Bowling back again to Pittman. Three-pointer, no. Rebound, put back, no on the near side as Shea Stanley can't get it to go. Stanley out of Delta High School up in the Muncie area. 59-35, Bowling with the basketball, and the Quakers with a huge lead, and just everything's academic from here. Just finish this one out. Bowling, nice strong drive for two. Bowling gets her first two. And runner minute remaining. Big win here today. Quakers will finish the regular season with 7 conference wins. Shot's going to be missed short by Fair Harris. They will finish at 7-18 during the regular season. But what a second half it has been, and the Quakers now will wait and see. Bowling again on the drive. Bowling with 4. And Earlham's going to win this here this afternoon down their final 22 seconds remaining. 3-pointer by Markham is missed. Stroud going for the rebound. Also Meadows will clear it out of there. And you can put this one in the books. Quakers will win it here this afternoon. Your final score on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham 63, Mount St. Joe 35. We'll come back and put a wrap on it in a moment. This is Quaker Basketball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com. Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft-Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond. We're back one final time here at the Athletics and Wellness Center. Quakers win it here 63-35, and so now Earlham will wait and see what happens as we will be watching the scoreboard in that last game to keep an eye on between Rose and Manchester. But now Earlham has done what they had to do. They had to win their last 2 games of the regular season to put themselves in position to make it into the playoffs. They have done so. They beat Defiance handily, and they come back and beat Mount St. Joe handily here this afternoon. Leading the way unofficially for Mount St. Joe, Tucker, 13 points. In fact, the only player in double figures with those 13 points for Mount St. Joe. They held Haberthy to just 3, who averaged 15 points coming in. Quakers led by Cameron White with 15, and Zoe Curtis with 15. 8 points by Newhart, 7 by Spears, 6 by Flynn, 5 by Wiesner, and 4 by Bowling. So Earlham gets the win. Now we wait. Well, if we get more information during the men's game, we will definitely pass it along. Men's contest coming up in about 25 minutes or so. So stay right there. We'll have the men's contest next, right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.